Yopaj is rushing Blink Dagger here. Beautiful choice. Oh, I like this a lot, actually. They're baiting this rune. But he needs to... Oh... Alright, so let's go over some like early game movements and what these teams are prioritizing and how they're moving. It seems we smoked up here on Boom. Smoke Ward, a classic. They're just trying to... You know, if you do manage to walk here, do the trick, go there. So big things I look for is itemizations, right? And so the most interesting lane for me in this particular game is going to be this one. Like, it's really imperative that Razor has a good game if they're going to make something happen in this draft, whereas Caudal Mars is just about a wash. Like, I don't see them pressuring Kunkka very much. Kunkka's still going to farm. You know, FBC is going to farm on his Mars too. Going to be quite the wash. So let's see if there's any interesting item builds. People are starting a lot of tangos. The other thing you can do is, like, if I was playing this Razor, for example, and you're versus, you know, a Ricky plus a tree, it really might be worth considering not getting this much regen. Like, I understand if you're playing versus, like, Lich or a hero that has a high harass to, like, buy a bunch of regen, but I think he should prioritize in this situation just getting more stats to last hit better, because it's very, very unlikely he's going to get harassed by 2 melee heroes. And he most likely won't chew through all this regen here. It's not the end of the world, you can do it. It's just like a small competitive edge you can get in, like, the laning stage. So as laning stage goes, most of the time, like, there's not going to be a ton to talk about. They're just going to farm, trade farm. It's always going to be around the 4-6 minute rune is when stuff is really going to happen. I don't think one team outpicked the other hard enough, or like the laning stage should be disaster on any front. And as mentioned, this mid lane is going perfectly well for the Sand King. This mid lane is ultra snore. Like, I'm just gonna have 2 dudes just farming like crazy. We got stacks going here. Okay, so I'll talk about this real quick. So when you have a mid, like for your support players out there, this is like a key concept, right? If your mid can flash farm and you're in a lane where it's like a shove and pull lane, right? You just shove, pull, and you don't really need to be there for your Mars. Like, Tim's is doing a great job this game. He's just stacking the triangle. This is super efficient if your mid can clear it, right? If your mid can't clear it, then you might want to spend a little more time in the laning stage helping your offlaner get something done. But in this situation, helping with water runes, stacking, TA is going to be really happy. On the other end here, we don't really have any stacks, so this is just going to be a gold advantage for the TA. I'm curious about the net worth here. What's the difference? I mean, Sand King's coming up just ahead, just by a little bit. He's just farming this small camp over and over, but I have a feeling TA will pull ahead because of Tim's support play here. So this is something that was really popular at TI, where you just get some regen item in your offlaner, and your pos 4 will let you play kind of like independent and then focus on stacking. So I assume Tim's will come back here to go for stacks. And he might not even do anything with this ring until like Refresher Orb or something, right? He's just going to use it to survive because the new Wyvern has a lot of harass damage. He doesn't want to keep fearing out tangos. Now he's just pretty much set as far as like being alone. There is kill threat a little bit because, you know, Caudal's doing a great job stacking here. Looks like he missed that stack, but he did get that one. Alright, so 6 minutes, right? What happens at 6 minutes? These are like probably like the biggest stage of the game that I always focus on, and you guys should focus in your games as well. Checking runes. This is when the power runes come out. Before then, it's kind of optional, and you have the ability to like focus on your laning stage more so than just going for the runes. But when it comes to these 6 minute runes here, you really, really want to, as supports, to think about double converging if, and there's a condition, if either side can use them, right? So if you have like a storm mid, you really want to get it for your storm. If the enemy has a storm mid, you want to deny it from him. Obviously, TA does not use runes that well, but if the other mid can use that rune really well, especially the spirits, you want to put a lot of emphasis on stopping them. Sand King, he's okay with them. Like, this is a really snooze mid lane, and they're both going to farm, so this is kind of a rare game where if you want to focus on your side lanes more than helping, I see nothing wrong with it. Oh, he tried to get it. So, like, what is Sand King going to do with this Arcane? Is he going to gank with it with a max Sandstorm? No, he's just going to farm with it. So, it's fine to, like, not put a ton of pressure on the runes in this type of game. Just know your mid matchups and kind of, like, determine what you're playing against and how important it is. And that's going to be a theme that continues throughout, usually, the whole game. So this game is still no kills, super sleeper. So what we should talk about now is, like, what is the first move gonna be? And OG's doing a great job here. Like, they identify, like, their hero mid is not a killer. He's not going to kill anything. But they identified the objective on the map here is going to be invading TA's triangle, right? So I think this is really good by OG. They planned out that they're not really looking for kills. They're looking to steal away these stacks from the TA because Sand King is equipped to do so. He can even do the Ancients. It takes a bit of time, but it is possible. And they're just doing a little dance here. And TA has no traps down in here, which is a little surprising. Like, they didn't even sentry or anything. If there's just a trap sitting there, for sure would have got a kill or two. Let's go down this bottom lane. Yeah, Razor's not having a good time. Not a huge fan of them putting this Razor in the off lane instead of mid versus TA. But I guess if you are a master tier Razor, who knows? Maybe you just want to play that hero. I'd like to see Ricky make a move on the map and give Tree the lane, because Tree can't roam. He's level 6 now. He wants to get his farm. He's super farmed though. I mean, that doesn't stop this. So it's like, it's cute. Force a Nyx TP. Harassing the Razor. Oh. Oh shit. It's a very aggressive move. I mean, that was actually like little impatient from OG here. Like, his Blink Dagger's coming. I think what he tried doing here, like a Poggers play, he wants to like start his epi, and then he could have done it, I think. Right here, he's starting it, and then the Blink gets delivered to him, and then he just goes. That would have been super sick, but I guess he had no detection. Oh, that's super sad. That's really sad. These guys they don't have detection. Invisibility, invincibility. Right, so what did we happen top lane? Kunkka, he's doing Kunkka things. He doesn't want to lane. He probably can lane. Oh, the Pog champ. See, this is stuff like I watch replays for to just get like... You don't really get to see while watching the stream, right? Like, look at the stuff he's doing. He's stacking with Torrent. It's beautiful. A true Kunkka player. Alright, so TA and Kunkka are just farming, so it's really up to Ricky and Sand King to make space on the map. And Sand King has made his move with his Blink, and looks like First Blood is going to happen. Good rotation. Not the kill that they wanted, but still good nonetheless. Making space on the map. We've got Arena up, but if you really look at Boom, though, they're probably going to sit back and farm a lot just because of how they drafted, right? You have, like, this Ricky hero, he just wants to farm in the early game. If he drops an Arena, like, what's the follow-up? TA's farming, Ricky's farming, you have a Treant Protector, and a Coddle? Like, that's really not much damage. But Yopaj is rushing Blink Dagger here. Beautiful choice. Oh, I like this a lot, actually. They're baiting this rune. But he needs to... Oh... What? What's going on? Okay. Let's go ahead and check out Radiant's point of view here. There's a rune here. He's baiting the rune with Blink Dagger, right? That is what is happening, indeed. Oh my god. It's a disaster. Yeah, he underestimated the tumbler still. So that was a really good play. I like what they did there. It's just unfortunate that they got outplayed, simply put. That was a waste of a smoke.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Alright, Blink is online. Time to get active. What? I mean, in his defense, you know, like, maybe he didn't know they're coming up there, even though they have a ward. But, you know, sometimes you just die. So I really like this move right here. Like, as for carry players, right? You see your POS 5 getting dove all the way across the map. What would normally happen in most of our pubs is our POS 1 would sit here and just keep farming and be like, thanks for the space, bro. But instead, he makes a really good play. He decides, like, oh, they're all top, that means I can go mid and pressure, and they end up getting a return kill here. And a little bit of pressure on this mid tower, too, because of that. And then he just goes back to farming. Razor is just existing down here. Big weakness of Razor compared to, like, even a hero like Mars, right? Like, these melee heroes, like, sure, Mars doesn't take towers very quickly, but he sure takes them a lot faster than a Razor does, right? Like, this hero has, like, no base damage. And he's very vulnerable if he hits it. So all he can really do is farm here.
Dire's turret has been killed.
So these moves, man. All right, let's do some Dota 101. All right, this is basic. All right, to me, this is just basic stuff, right? You go here, you take the tower, right?
Dire's top tower
So what I always tell like teams that I coach or teams that I played on in the past, this is like always gonna happen. If the enemy team takes your tower before you take their tower, they're always, if they're a good team, they're going to defend their safe lane tower. Because guess what? Once you get this tower here, there's nothing left. There is nothing left but some creeps here, and you will leave a hero to farm this. Don't get me wrong, but you don't need to be 4 heroes here anymore. You got your objective. And then while you have that one hero ready with a TP to TP in, smoke across the map and defend your tower. And that puts the other team in a position where they're just like, what do we even do on the map at this point? And you're going to have to evolve your playstyle, or you're going to have to bring more heroes to like defend this here. And Boom did this exceedingly well. They got this tower, and then immediately they're like, okay, what's going to happen next is OG is going to look to push this tower because they're mad that we just got this tower, right? Part of this has to do with how Razor's just like, honestly, a trash offlaner. I kind of just want to like label him there. Unless you have like a really good lane matchup, this hero applies very little pressure outside of the laning stage. So if you lose your lane on this hero, like, you don't really farm jungle, you don't really push. There's not a lot you can do here. So, plus his catapult is like stuck here. And I think he probably fucked something up here. Did he try pulling this here? I see, he has no TP. Nyx is here. This pool just slows down their push, but then again, they don't have enough heroes for this push, so it's just a loss for them. Like, they use boat too. So the only thing that they can do in this position is try to outfarm. So I don't hate this decision making from OG. He just farms this up real quick. Immediately smoke. You see how they're using Yopaj this whole time? I thought they might use Ricky and let him farm, but he just rushed Blink Dagger. He's ready to go. He's like their playmaker. Someone has to like compensate. So as you can see, they took this tower. Did they shove it one wave? That's like the real question. Yeah, okay, so they took this tower. They shoved the lane in. Instantly made a play here. Mars TP to defend. And now, if you're in OG's position, you can't be down here anymore. You have to respect the fact that this is going to happen. So this is just an outplay by Boom. Really good play. And now, once they do this, your next move that's going to happen is you're going to get this kill. And yet again, you have nothing to do here anymore. Like, this is the most worthless part of the map. Like, taking this tower gives you access to pretty much nothing. You can walk here, I guess, but you can use a Quelling Blade and walk here anyway. There's nothing here. Rosha's all the way over here. The farm you want to take is here. The outpost is over here. So, like, taking this tower is trash. Like, this tower is great. It gives you, like, pretty much all of this map, right? I'll draw a line for you. It gives you, like, all of this map here. All of it is yours. Moving on. Get a kill quick, and then from here, they're going to just rotate back all the way up. And take the farm. You can linger a couple heroes here if you want to. So they saw Kunkka TP bot, which means they know he's stuck down here, which means they could initiate on top really quickly. But there's only a Wyvern up there. I think just getting your farm and your Blink Dagger is more important. I mean, that's just whatever. Seb's just trying to dead lane, meanwhile FBC is dead laning on Doom. So this is great. This goes on to a next concept here. It's going to be playing very hard to kill when you know the enemy is missing. I'll do a quick example of like the Fog of War for the Radiant here. This is like kind of what they see. This is respecting your opponents, right? You're going to see in a second here that they see them all here. We just saw all 3 of them. They end up going up here getting a kill. I see Sand King walking bottom. They even have a sentry on him too. So FBZ here doesn't go for another wave. And he makes himself really hard to kill. And this now allows them, as a team, to like help him, right? Even if they dive here, if they TP in like this and he gets Arena off, it's going to be a disaster for them. So, really good by Boom. FBZ specifically for making that play. This is pretty a methodical game from Boom right now. Like, they're not doing anything crazy. They're not trying to like invade the enemy triangle or anything. They're happy with just slowly winning the game, right? It's just like you're slowly winning the game and you're happy with it. They're making great plays. They're defending their side of the map. They're going for, like, the stable objectives. They're not doing anything crazy. Might not, like, super, like, fun to watch or anything, but it's just good Dota. Now they're collapsing on mid here. Oh, he's gonna burrow all that, isn't he? Okay, can someone explain what that was that I just watched? His spear is here. The Sand King is here. What? Alright. Just rooted him alone. Alright. Both teams bringing 5 to the mid lane push. Very good. Beautiful. I think both teams played that very well. Like, I think the lesson to be taught there is for people like looking to get better in these type of situations is I think a lesser team would have not brought 5 heroes. Like, sometimes the carry player feels like they're exempt, right, from, you know, participating in the game, right? But you'll see on these top teams that the carry player has to be active, and they will be active from these top teams when they need to be.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, okay. They're trying to D-ward, brought 5 again, kind of protecting their turf.
Is under attack.
I think they're going to go on him here, yeah?
Dire structures.
Seb doing a good job being in the right place, protecting his core so he can farm. Alright, cool. So he has a BKB ready. That means there's a huge power spike here for OG to make something happen. They have their Blink Dagger, they have their BKB. The only one that doesn't have a BKB is the Razor. Razor's job is going to be to focus the TA in every fight. He does need a BKB though, so I wouldn't hate it if OG stays chilling as long as they're not feeding until he does get BKB. But they also do have a power spike to make something happen right now. 17-minute neutral items are out as well. Seb is playing very dangerous. Is he stuck? He got stuck. Seb is playing very, very dangerously in this game. Like, I don't see the point of what he was doing there, right? It's kind of like low risk, low reward, right? Maybe their plan is to try and pick someone off with Razor nearby. I get it, but they didn't see any reaction bottom yet. So if they would have saw someone down here before making that jump, then that would have been great. It would make a lot of sense. But they didn't, right? Because this lane has been shoving in by Sand King for a while, and there's just nobody there. So you could have easily just collected that farm.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
He has a Blink Strike ready. Ain't happening. BKB. Yep. Alright. Both teams playing really well. Like, if you want to make a play like this, you need to bring everyone. And unfortunately, the Mars Arena missed again. He just keeps burrow striking out of it. So, like, after that, you can kind of call it if you want, but Yopaj with the BKB decided to continue. And Razor's dead again. See you later. It's like the same thing. It's like you gotta respect these waves, man. Like, you can't just be farming in the jungle here while nobody is showing here, right? Nobody's showing here. Like, I'll show you from their perspective because this is like pretty important stuff. So like, we're gonna continue the game from here, right? And let's go to Dire's point of view. All right, let's see what they're looking at. All right, so they lost their Nyx here. That was the team fight. You do see Ricky down here. I'll give you that respect, right? But they all went missing. And from his perspective, maybe he thought he was safe to do this. Maybe. But Boom was really fast as well. So I'll give Boom the benefit of the doubt. They're just a great team. And Yopaj has been so active on his TA. Like, while keeping top net worth. really been like the Opage show here in this game. I won't say it's the Opage show because they're making moves as a team, and he most likely is not the person calling all these smoke ganks. So I'm going to give credit to the supports, actually. And the Opage is playing really well himself. That was a very fast play. Alright, so item choices again. We're going mass BKBs. It makes sense. You're playing versus Mars, you're playing versus Coddle. But unfortunately, BKBs is not an item in this game that makes you invulnerable, right? You got Tree Root, you got Ricky, you got TA. There's a lot of options. So when you're down behind like this, it's a little sad. Okay, well, what? I am incredibly confused right now. I personally don't think, like, OG is showing their best game here. Like, this is so sloppy from them. Like, they're not using the vision they have. They're doing a good job pushing these lanes out, but then they're just getting caught up in places where there's just no respect on Boom's name here. And they're getting punished for it hard. The Razor up top here, the mid lane, the Nyx got slammed as well. And that's their mid tower. And it's a big deal. Like, this from Skim right here is also very disrespectful, if you were to ask me. But he's just going in like a man. I guess with Opage here, I gave him a lot of confidence to do this. But to me, like, this type of stuff here is like, I feel like a lot of these players are not respecting the major right now. They're just kind of like, this is their first match. They've probably been playing a lot of pubs, maybe scrimming here and there, but you can't be doing stuff like this. Like, these are just feeds, and they might be calculated in a way, but... And then mid lane... This is beautiful. Like, this could have been very much so a bait. And Seb played this great. Unfortunately, he's still gonna die because he's just a little Nyx, but Seb did everything he could in his power to make that happen. Oh my goodness. Alright, so what do you do now if you are on OG?
What do now?
Right? Like, that's what's important. It's kind of like easy to watch this and be like, wow, OG, lol, they're getting owned right now, noobs. But the reality is, like, their map looks really, really bad, right? It looks incredibly bad. There's nowhere to go. They're, like, trying to pick up, like, the scraps that are given right now on the map, and they're just going about it, like, completely wrong. The first thing that they did correct, I'll go back. This is the first thing they did. And how did they get in a situation where this turned into a good thing, now turned into a bad thing? Like, let's analyze that real quick. So this is a good thing. And what they're doing here is they're setting up a point of control. This is like their map now. This is like the best fight they're gonna get. And especially, they kill the tree immediately. So Aegis is already on the TA. Admittedly, they probably can't fight them 5 vs 5. But he's just dead, for sure. And now they still have this ward up, or does he end up killing it? No, he doesn't. They de-warded him, kept his ward, and they're holding this area. This is beautiful. So when you're in this position right now, there's a couple things you need to know. Like, this ain't safe. You know it's not safe. Ricky's here. Mid's not safe. TA was there. There's traps there. So if you want, you can put one person mid to kind of like just collect what is coming in. But other than that, you can't really be lingering here for too long. So like, how do they get in a position of power and to a position of weakness? So for one, Taiga should not be doing this, in my opinion. Like, he should be collecting all the farm that comes into the tower, and that is it. That's it. No more. And it's even debatable if he should be here at all, to be totally honest with you. Maybe Wyvern should be the one collecting this. This is the most dangerous farm on the map here in the mid lane. And you don't really want to be taking this away from a hero like Nyx that farms it very slowly. But if you are going to be here, play it very carefully. And keep this control. Keep pushing this lane. Shove it in. Make sure Boom does not get this farm. And if they do bring heroes down here, now that leaves you an opening. Someone TP spot, right? Now you can make a play on mid. Now you can make a play on top. You have like tons of like great options in a situation like that. But instead, this just turns into like something very sloppy, right? Like, now Amar is running over here to like try and join this like disaster of a team fight, right? He could be farming all this. They'd be happy. Then this would be going into the tower, and nobody would be touching it. Or if they did, now you know you have an avenue to make something happen elsewhere on the map. So this just kind of like bleeds. Right, now Sand King's dead. Now they're losing more net worth. They're probably losing their tower here. All of it adds up. Alright, so they took the mid tower. They realized they don't have to be here anymore if they don't want, unless they want to kill Taiga again for like this 18th time on the mid lane. They're going, they have bigger fish to fry. Razor has a BKB. They're at least kicking him out. I mean, I guess their plan is with overgrowth. Just, oh my goodness. Okay, that was close. So now that they showed bottom, Yopaj needs to play careful top, because they're going to gun from... Everyone top needs to get out. Regroup. Shove this lane on Ricky. Alright, they have other plans, they just want to fight. Alright, there's like a million BKBs going off now. TA is gonna have a hard time fighting this here. But she does have an Aegis, so just kidding. Mars dead. So I think at this point in the game... Wait, what happened with Mars here? Lotus? I see. So Nick's bought back into this fight. Makes it a little more difficult. So I was gonna say, I think I would have preferred Boom to chill a little bit and Ricky push 1 or 2 more waves, right? And then they make a fight, but I don't hate that they saw an opening and went for it. Just, you know, it didn't work out the way they wanted it to. And that's just Dota. Like, you can't, like, predict everything that's gonna happen in the game. You gotta take chances, you gotta make choices as well in the game. Oh, he's building 2 BKBs. That's... What? Oh, he changed his mind. Okay. I was like... 2 BKBs, new meta. So he got a shard. And this is nerfed, but it's still kind of very obnoxious. Because, like, he's just going to throw it on Razor, right? If he ever gets linked and not BKB'd. Or he's just going to throw it on Razor and he's going to initiate on him before he can even be linked. Alright, so Amari's going to shove out the mid lane on his Razor. He's just kind of... They're just protecting the Kunkka from the triangle here. He's very close to Satanic. Looks like they don't want to fight until Satanic sub. I honestly haven't really felt the impact of this Kunkka. Like, he was very farmed in this game, but I don't know. I'm a little underwhelmed in, like, the game impact he's had. And it's, like, more so the hero? Is that even true? I think he could have, like, used this BKB a little better, like, as a team, right? It's never, ever one person's fault. I feel like a lot of the mistakes they were making around mid lane and getting picked off was made it very difficult for the Kunkka to play the game instead of doing some organized smokes like this with him. This right here is very disciplined play. So they go up here, they see Sand King here, right? And immediately Jackie makes the call. I'm gonna go get the Sand King, guys. And then as soon as his team, like, notices that he's going bottom, it's very important that you don't stay up here. Like, an amateur mistake would be Yopaj starts hitting this tower, right, as they're going down here. Because OG will capitalize on that, because he should be like, you know, I'm dead. Sand King, I'm dead bottom. Go somewhere else, right? And they realize that. And Boom plays this incredibly well. They don't have to leave, but what they can't be doing is showing themselves on the map, right? You can linger. Nothing wrong with that. But just play on the defensive. And then they can decide what they want to do. And this is great, because like I said before, you don't really want to go for this tower. In most games of Dota, you'll see this tower survive for a long time. Get a kill, cut across the map again. This is incredibly risky. Alright, I'm not going to lie to you right here that I think Seb should have just cursed him. Unless he thought it was an illusion. Because he's 100% dead. Like, without a doubt in my mind. Like, he's under vision here, right? He just walks up, and he's like, yo, what's up? There is a sentry down, right? Yeah, boom. Curse him. Curse him, impale him, torrent him, static link him. He's dead. He's just dead, straight up. That's just like, they're giving him a little bit too much respect right there. Like, is that ever gonna work? Dracunka leading? No, that's never gonna work. Nyx has no dagger. Just a bit of a missed opportunity from Seb there to punish him. Where's that killer instinct, the killer OG instinct, you know? Game Pos 5 puts you into a little bit of a different mind state. They brought 5 and dewarded. The reason why they don't defend this ward, by the way, Upaj isn't there. The communication from this team in this specific game has been beautiful. They're playing great. So OG kind of knows that in this game, they're really far behind. And any fight that they're going to win is going to be on their terms. So they're just kind of sticking together, hoping Boom walks into them and they can win a team fight. They have like no business making an active play right now unless they have a smoke and a ward, right? And it looks like they have no more wards, just a smoke. So if they go smoke somewhere aggressively and they have no vision, they're going to feel pretty dumb about that, right? So they do have to just play around areas like their outpost where they do have vision. It looks like their only ward on the map right now is this. That's it. What a scary map to be a part of. So Taiga's going to do his best to get out there and be like a mobile ward. Alright, so they're smoking out. They got their mobile ward. Broke. And that's it. They get a D-ward. D-ward for smoke. And honestly, it could be a lot worse. That's not bad. Worst case scenario there is Boom is ready. Their smoke pops under vision and they lose that team fight. But luckily for them, that was not the case. So Seb is making the call. This is where we're going to fight, right? Wards are being pinged. They realize they have to defend this. They need to. And looks like he's going to get X-torrented into a dead tree. Hello? Marina's down. Nobody wanted to commit a BKB to killing that Treant Protector. Just didn't want to do it. This Ricky's just gonna kill everyone. It's over. It's an absolute disaster. So basically he dropped Smokescreen and 5 heroes ran away from the tree. And so they end up getting 5-man rooted instead of just popping a BKB and killing him. At this point, as OG, what can you do to like get back into this game? Like, what cards do you have available to play? Avoid, Boom, split push them, and try not to fight them. Look for opportunities where they're spread out and try to capitalize on them. Warding like this is great. Like, it's a bit of an obvious ward, and it might get dewarded just now, and if it does, like... Oh, come on, dude. Come on, dude. I'm about to turn this replay off. Like, this can't happen. You are severely low on wards. You're losing the game badly. Like, there's no secret. They know they're getting smashed right now. They know they're getting smashed. When you have a ward available, you are planting this ward with every intention of taking a fight. Because if you lose this ward, you're done. And there's like creative things you can do. You don't even have to put it on like an obvious spot if you know you can't fight. At some point you have to, you have to know they have a gym, right? At some point in the game if you're losing. You have to put this ward in a spot where if they want to deward it, you are going to get the jump on them and you are going to get kills. Simple as that. You can place it in situations like up here, you know, they have another ward here. These are great wards for if you're playing versus a gym. But you can't just be like wasting wards like that. Like this ward goes up and he's thinking, what? I'm going to give space to my team with this vision? No. When it comes to the late game, use wards to fight. You don't use wards for farming anymore. I mean, I'll just humor the rest of this game, just like see what they can do, but at this point in the game, this is the weirdest mechanic I've ever seen. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely weird. I mean, they're just taking a team fight with no Razor. Razor decides not to buy back. I think he wants out of the game. And he should get his wish soon. The general concepts of coming back in a game when you're this far behind is try to make your opponent make mistakes, play around your vision. And if the enemy doesn't make those mistakes, you're just going to lose the game probably because you're just so far behind. You're getting out-farmed, the net worth gets worse. So what Boom is doing good here, I guess, like, to go over like things that when you're ahead you should keep doing and not do, is don't farm back here, right? Not yet. There will be a time where you can do it, but if the other team is actively trying to get outside of their base, keep the pressure on, right? They're keeping the pressure on. And he's honestly doing a great job making space here. Like, they're getting out on the map. He even made the boss play of going top. But unfortunately, I think Boom will just go high ground now because they're just so far ahead. They saw Sand King TP top. Dude, this dude has a Hex on TA. I've never seen this before. Alright, OG's smoking out. So the reason why OG's doing this is, like, they realize they can't stay in their base. They're trying to get out of the base. It's basically a game of cat and mouse now in the late game, where if you're Boom, you're the cat. If you're OG, you're the mouse. In this situation, they're trying to dodge, but more importantly, they're trying to take fights where they have the number advantage. They're so far behind. They're so far behind that they will never win a 5v5. So they're trying to catch Boom making a mistake. And that mistake is simply just going to be somebody showing here, somebody showing here, and then also a third person showing here. Now you have the numbers advantage, and you can claw your way back into the game. So it's really just Boom's mistake if they do get caught like this.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But it looks like they know, and you see how everyone just like pushes one wave, and they immediately run back to each other because they sniffed this out. Boom! It was broken as well. Now all you need for this fight is vision, and here it is. This is the vision. This is OG's. So Boom's gonna respect it. If they have a smoke, I'd love to see them smoke right now. Soon as they see this TP bottom, if they see Sand King bot, he's smoked. So I guess they don't. But if they're paying attention to this, it's go time, right? And they go. If you'll notice, Boom is not actually gaining a net worth doing what they're doing right now. They're just waiting for this, a pick. They mad or what? What is so desperate about this fight? Uh-oh. One Lotus out. Okay. Tex. Oh my goodness! What is everyone doing? The real boss is here, Ricky. Still is BKB. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't think either of those teams played that fight particularly well. This is like just a huge net worth advantage. FBZ is playing really well, to be honest. But he always does. Dude is insanely talented as an offlaner. So I really liked the draft Boom did this game. They played incredibly well in the early game, and like the main reason of like why they won this game, in my opinion, to summarize it, is just gonna be that the fact that they played so incredibly well in the mid game. They made all the moves on, like, literally the mid lane, I guess. I say mid game, but it was also mid lane, right where they needed to, and it was beautiful, right? They took the tower first, they defended their tier 1 bottom. Everything was beautiful. And I would have liked to see OG just play a little more disciplined in this game, right? Like, they weren't much of a team in this game. They really weren't. I didn't really like their laning choices as well, but that can all be forgiven. You just have to play like a team and not really linger around that mid lane. Find positions on the map to hold and just show some presence in the game, right? They didn't really take much positioning on the map. They didn't really play the side lanes particularly well. They just kind of got picked off, and a lot of it had to do with just Boom's like amazing movement in the game.